Hi, my name is Melvine Alusa on the Old Man Show, and I believe what it takes to be a man is courage, strength, resilience, motivation. Because a man has a lot of responsibilities on his shoulder. The society expects so much, so it takes those things I've said about to be a man. However, over and above all, love. A man is the source of love. When you look even in the Bible, it is a man that is commanded to love. So all these things are based on the foundation of love. That's what it takes to be a man, in my opinion.
Hello everybody, how you doing? This is your coach and your friend Robert Brawley, and of course, this is the best show in Eastern Central Africa, south of the Sahara and north of Limpopo. It is the Old Man Show, only on Switch TV. This is a show that we don't look for perfect men. We look for men who want to be better tomorrow than they are today. Men who have gone through the rigors of life. Men who will inspire, who will motivate, who will make you really think about yourself and also appreciate their journey. Well, today is no different. A great man, a personal friend. I call him the loudest man in Eastern Central Africa. He's none other than Mr. Melvine Alusa. Karibu sana ndugu yangu.
Asante.
Niko salama?
Niko salama.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
It's good to see you here. And before I just even go deep into this, congratulations. Mm-hmm. And many people are asking why. By the way, in our presence, Best Actor, Zanzibar
International Film Festival.
Yani international.
International, yeah.
Great. How did you feel when you received that award? Because I mean, you're in the company of some very good actors as well.
Yeah, actually there was, that festival has annually a submission of over 100 films, mostly from Africa and other parts of the world.
Right.
Yeah, so coming top as the best actor, I was elated.
Did you expect it? Okay, we know you're a good actor. I've done a movie with you. We know you're a good actor. But don't be humble here. Don't be too quick. You knew you'd do well.
Yeah.
Did you expect to be the best actor?
I didn't even know that category was there.
Right.
So for me, that night was kind of a surprise.
Okay.
However, had I known the category was there, I may have expected it, because also the work I went there with, or the movie that was submitted at the festivals was it's quite a good movie.
What movie is this?
Mission to Rescue.
Directed by
Gilbert Lucalia.
Lucalia, of course.
It's the first military action movie in East and Central Africa. And down to that level.
You went out of town. You were in the Bundus Kabisa.
We were in Samburu. We were somewhere in Samburu, close to a military facility, and so we, the aesthetics of the movie, we went all out. The guns are real, explosions are real, military training, was done. We had a military consultant on set. So we came as close as possible to what those missions actually do look like.
Right. A
friend of mine called me. He's a special forces officer. He told me, Melvin, this movie is so real because I've been in such a situation in Somalia. So even the military is saying this thing is legit.
How long were you there for? I mean, you went through the training and all that. Yeah.
Training plus shooting, 52 days.
52 days.
Yeah.
In Samburu.
And Samburu can be hot during the day and really cold during during the night. So you can imagine the conditions. Just the climatic conditions of shooting the movie was quite taxing.
Mission to Rescue.
And
we'll get back there.
Yeah.
Who is Melvin? Or who is Alusa? Bila ukuta home. Alusa ni nani?
Kwanza kabisa.
Yes.
Alusa ni kijana anapenda Yesu. I'm a Christian. I'm born again Christian. I'm grounded in the Word. I'm grounded in a relationship with God. So kwanza mimi ni mtoto wa God.
Right.
Number two, I'm a family man. I'm a father of 6 children.
How many?
6. Na sasa, and my last ones are twins, which means sasa hapo imebidi niweke pause because now nimeanza kutoa multiple.
You have 6 children.
6.
Was that by plan ama tu ni?
The first 3 were by
When you are growing up, did you want to have like many children?
When I was growing up, I
nilikuwa na mmoja tu.
Catch up, bro.
Oh, Chana, mimi.
Kacha.
I'm the host. I'm asking questions.
Actually, iba tuanze sijui nikuachie.
You have 6 children.
You have 6 kids, yeah.
Okay. How is that? Because you're still a young man.
Very young.
Yes.
Very young and agile.
Watoto sita.
Big family.
Why? Why is that?
Well,
I'm asking this for a reason. There is a friend of mine who is an only child, and he says when he gets married, he will have 10 children.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see, also growing up, there was a big gap between me and the sibling who follows me. There was a huge gap.
Right.
Across the street, I used to see ilikuwa family ya Mluya, and there were many, and they lived. The man lived in that house alone, but during the holidays, the guys would come from the village, and there would be so many. So playing when they would, when they would go back home, nilikuwa nasikia so much noise coming from their house, and there was so much chatter and whatnot, and it's just somehow in me intrinsically, I just wanted to have a big family as well.
Okay.
Yeah, because I grew up only me and the sibling that follows me. There's a difference of about 7 years.
Okay, so you were alone for a while.
I was alone for a while. Okay. Before they catch up in their 20s, I was alone for a while.
How was it growing up?
On what aspect?
Every aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, when did you discover you're a good actor? Or you have the gift of acting? Because the truth of the matter, you're a brilliant actor.
Thank you.
Ilianza when?
Hii kitu ilianza shule, but not like shule drama festivals or anything. I used to act my way out of situations. When I'm in trouble, I would, in this case, pretend my. I guess most kids do that, but me, I did it with more, with more precision. I didn't know about this acting. Acting is a career. As far out as even when I was leaving high school, this wasn't on my mind because I'm quite gifted also in sports. So I was when I left high school, I knew I would pursue rugby and some form of education. However, at that time, rugby wasn't paying well. Napia, it was a time when my parents had left the country, and my 2 younger siblings were, basically they were looking up to me, not really for financial support, but just I needed to really just step up also and support in one way or another. So it's at that time that rugby, since I couldn't leap or anything, I decided to just shelve it and pursue other employment opportunities. It's in this line that at some point I met a good friend of mine who was I was with in primary, and they were doing a musical. I didn't even know what a musical is, but I knew I could sing because we're also a musical family.
Right.
So when she told me, hey, there's a musical, and I liked her, and I wanted to be close to her. I was 25 at the time, or 24. So I said, okay, let me go for the auditions, whatever the auditions mean. And the rest is history because, I got a lead acting part and a singing part. And we did the musical at National Theatre, fell in love with the stage. After that, quit the job I was doing, entered, the arts fraternity.
Some of the movies you've done or projects you've been involved in, I see Gidha, Silence is a Woman.
Silence is a Woman, yeah.
Alpha Beta, The First Grader, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, How was that? I mean, does acting pay? I'm asking this for one reason. There's a young boy who has a gifting, and they're watching you. I mean, when we see the trailer of that movie, there's a part that you're not saying anything. I think there's an explosion, and then the camera zooms into your face. I mean, just your facial expression spoke like a million words. So there's a boy who's saying, man, I want to be like Mr. Alusa. But can somebody really make a career out of it? You have 6 children. Are they happy that their father is an actor? Besides being famous, of course. Because the other day I saw you went with them for the premiere. But would you encourage somebody to go into full-time acting?
I would say to answer your question, when I was starting out, because there's my predecessors, people like Mama Kayai, Mr. Ujwang, the people we grew up seeing, watching, and they passed on the baton to us. When I was coming in, there was the industry was very flaky. It was the shape and form hadn't really taken place yet. But now with time as time has gone, because from the time I started until now it's about 15 years.
Right.
Now I can say I've seen the industry take shape. We may not really be there as an industry yet where I can say that really, it's the stakes are really, the pay is really amazing yet, because compared to other players globally. However, yes, it pays. It pays. I'm seeing people. I mean, plus myself, I'm a testimony. I mean, this is my bread and butter. This is how I educate my kids.
And now that you are best actor,
yes,
your cost goes a bit higher.
My
your
cost
quotes,
definitely.
I'll check in our two.
Definitely, because now so an actor grows with time. An actor develops layers over time. Yeah, with and by that I mean just life's journey and life's experiences make you a more dependable and a deeper performer.
Right.
So because a character depends on you as the actor. The character depends on your experiences and your journey. It's what you plug in to really color and flower a character. And I feel that the older the better. I mean, I'm just getting my first award now at 40. And I've been here for about 15 years.
So patience is key.
Patience is key.
Discipline is another one.
Patience, discipline, being prepared in season and out of season, and being also in a position where you can learn from others. Humility. Because sometimes I see young actors coming in and, they've seen some stuff on YouTube and they are quite exposed in terms of the content they see internationally, and they think it's just a matter of getting in and doing it. But it's not. It's not really.
In fact, speak to those actors, because I've seen young people coming in and 3 months down the line, they're walking around this town as if they own it. The importance of bidding your time, because now people are not patient. They want to get into the scene today and win an international award next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Melvin, I want to go deeper into you as a person, because you say you come from a very musical family. You are a brother to Mr. Bien of Sauti Sol,
yes,
and all that. How do you handle, because both of you are very famous, and we've seen the poisoned chalice that is fame, that has taken many people down the drain. Many people have had to do silly things to get likes on Instagram and this and that. And the young boy, the young generation are being sucked into this kind of life.
Yeah.
What advice would you have? Because you've been in this scene. We've done a great movie with you called Shattered, by Karum Wikali. Great movie. So you've been in the scene for a while.
Yeah.
How do you keep sane? How do you keep yourself grounded? Because when you go on social media, and the cases of depression from young boys, when they come to talk to me, you hear it's the expectation. So I ask, what is the problem? I don't seem to be doing well. And I ask them one question: who says you're not doing well? And they say, but when I see on social media, others seem to be doing well. How do you manage to keep your feet on the ground with your brother Bien? Because as a family, you guys talk, you have family meetings. What are the things that keep you grounded?
What keeps me grounded really is I keep reminding myself, why am I here? There's the why question. Why do I act? Why am I even in this industry doing? Yes, I'm gifted, yeah, but why do I keep? Why do I do it? And for me, I've defined my path as I want to do stories that are powerfully entertaining, but still entertaining, intriguing, but still a story that can encourage, admonish, encourage someone somewhere. So I remember back in the day when I was starting, there's a day I was really low. My parents had gone to, my parents were abroad. I was with my brother and my sister, and we were just sitting, in fact, we just gotten electricity in our house because for a long time we didn't have electricity, and so when we got when power got connected, we got a TV and we wanted to binge on movies. There's a movie we bumped into called Men of Honor by Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yes.
Tom
Cruise is there?
No.
Right, that one.
Yeah, that white guy.
Military kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
military kind of thing. And as entertaining and as intriguing as the story is, at the end of it all, you see the resilience, the resolve of this young black soldier that at that time black men are not being enrolled into the Navy, but this guy, he against all odds, his mind was set that I've got to get to the Navy despite my despite me being black. And even when he got into it, eventually he broke his leg at some point, but he still went on. And when the movie ends, it left me with a feeling of, man, I can do something about this situation that I'm in. I can actually just get up and believe in myself and believe in my dream and pursue it. Those are the kind of movies I want to do. So what keeps me grounded is I remind myself constantly why I'm doing this. You see, that supersedes fame or who else is doing better than me at that point. And I keep telling people, or even myself, like I keep using this analogy because I jog a lot. And where I live, the topography, the gradient is there's hills, there's ups, there's up the hill, down the hills, flat places. Whenever I'm going down a hill and I'm running, there's someone coming up. When I'm going up, there's someone coming down. And at some point, I'm on a flat level. Life is like that.
Hold on to that thought. That's powerful. When you're running down a hill, there's somebody going up. When you're going up, there's somebody going down. Mm-hmm. And life is like that. Mm-hmm. This is Mr. Melvine Alusa, Best Actor, Zanzibar International Film Festival.
Yes.
Man, it feels good to say that. See you on the other side of the break. Please get a cup of tea, have a glass of warm water, because you're about to get deeper, knowing this man, Mr. Melvine Alusa. His name, Melvine Alusa, Best Actor, Zanzibar International Film Festival. Also, an Emmy nominee at the Cannes Film Festival 2013. Actor par excellence, a father of 6, and is not even 50 yet. Great man is Mr. Melvine Alusa. Before we went on a break, you gave us a very nice motivational quote. You like jogging, so when you're going down the hill, somebody else is going up. When you're going up, somebody is going down. And that's how life is. Yeah. And just to encourage somebody that life is about seasons. So don't judge your going down based on somebody going up.
Exactly.
Because that person also went down at some point.
At some
and
point.
is now going up.
Yeah.
Okay, so to every young man who is watching us, don't allow the stresses of life to put you down. Don't look at somebody else's time of going up and then look down upon you and your season of going down. So, Mr. Alusa, you've done quite a bit. I mean, acted in many TV series, movies, local, international. You're the last Kenyan to represent Kenya on Big Brother Africa. How was that?
That was, speaking of seasons of life, that was a different season. You could see even, so I really went to that show because I was really an actor at the time.
Right.
Yeah, and for me, I felt, okay, let me give this thing a try, number one, to get some continental exposure.
Right.
But also just have some fun and win some money.
Right. How much was it, like?
25 million.
Okay.
It was 30 M.
I remember I was praying for you.
Imagine. I had an entire team.
Yes. So how was that experience? First and foremost, how did you even choose you? What was the
rigorous audition?
Yes.
Yeah, there's always a rigorous audition, and then there's the first audition here, and then you're shortlisted to now to go to this. They shortlist 4.
Yes.
To now go to a second and final audition in South Africa, which is a grueling audition. You audition the whole day.
Okay.
From morning, medical examinations, psychological tests. It's an entire. You land at night. Like maybe today, the whole day tomorrow, you're busy just going through the motions of the audition again and meeting those guys for Endemol, and then the next morning, you're gone, you're out. So between the first audition here and you getting into even just getting the call or the confirmation that now you've been selected as a housemate is a long time, for about 2 months.
Okay.
2 months of anxiety.
Right.
So that builds up to. Then now again the preparation now to go. Then I was really a family man. I had to take care of my family's costs for about 3 months. Blah blah blah. Going there, I thought I was going to come back with the mind. Didn't come back with it. When I left the house, I was actually depressed for a while.
In fact, I want to go there because now there's so many things we take for granted because we have them.
Yeah.
So you got into this house. You don't have any communication with the outside world. You're meeting these people for the first time as soon as you walk in.
Yeah.
That's how you meet them.
Yes.
No TV. You don't have news from outside. All cameras are on you. What is the psychological effect of that? Because now you've made a statement that you got depressed. But when you look at everybody entering the house, there's excitement. So give us that journey. At what point now? Day 5? You're like, who are these people here? When you say you're depressed, what do you actually mean? And why I'm asking you these questions,
Yeah.
not just for the sake.
Yeah.
Because then you'd open our eyes to some of the things we take for granted. That I can come to your house one afternoon and eat nyama choma.
Yeah.
Now, why? What pushed you into depression?
So you see, phones, laptops, anything the outside world is at the air. When you land at the airport in South Africa, you hand over any electronic devices to your chaperone immediately. So it's not even when you're getting into the house. It's actually when you land, and there's a period of about 7 days of you just being you in a hotel room, doing nothing really, waiting to get into the house the next.
Wow.
Yeah. So you land on a Saturday. The show goes up on following week on Sunday. This entire week is basically preparation for you to start getting psychologically prepared for what the house.
Just being in a hotel by yourself.
Just being in a hotel by yourself, and the chaperone takes care of everything. You want food, he brings you food. You want this, you're not even leaving. There's no walking around South Africa, seeing nothing, none of that. Meant to prepare you. Mine took longer because remember, in our season, the house got burnt.
Yes.
The studio house got burnt. So this thing that takes 7 days for me took 34 days.
34.
Yep. We were just being moved around guest houses around Johannesburg.
Right.
Can you imagine? 34 days, no communication. I don't know how my family is. 34 days. So that's already a month into. By now, by the 34th day, in my mind, I thought I'd be ready in the house. The thing's already going. At some point, I just felt like, just tell these guys you want to go back home. But again, I just said, okay, I've come this far, I've prepared this long. Let's just see how it goes. And they kept encouraging us. The house will be ready next week. The house will go, a few days to come. 34 days. By the time I was getting to the house, the suit I was wearing was already tight. I was looking fat. I was psychologically, I was just tired. I just wanted to get into that house.
Right.
And then you get in. Normally, it's 2 houses split. Half housemates on one side, the other half on the other side. For us, since it was what it was, the house having been destroyed, the previous house, studio house, now we were all bundled to 26 housemates in one house. And then I was the oldest in the house. I was 33 and I was the oldest. The guy who followed me was around this guy who was 31. The average age in the house was 23.
Yeah, there's a big gap.
And there's a big gap. And it's their first time ever on TV. I had been on TV before. It's their first time ever. So the excitement and the shouting, that's okay for the first night and maybe the second night or the second day. But after that, that excitement of we're in a show and blah blah kind of just wears down because it's just a house with cameras. And then you're trying to just have a mature conversation with someone, but when they see the camera turning, and now because that's how Big Brother does it, when they want to pick like this conversation is interesting to them, they sort of like move the camera towards you, and you can feel it. So someone just starts talking weirdly. Me, my country, I'm a big star. So the conversation becomes just something else.
Did that show you how plastic life can be because of what you call social media?
Social media.
If I talk about social media, because many people during that time, I think there's a time Nigeria went ham on you.
Yes.
And I think that was the first time, because I think you were a threat to their...
the lead guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you got attacked? Because now, and I want us to drive this, because there's a lot of not so good things that happen on social media in these days. People just wake up to abuse people. People just wake up to comment on things they have no clue about.
Yeah.
So, you had a family. Of course, at that time, we on the outside knew what was happening. You didn't have access to this. But when you came out, and I'll go back to what depressed you, but I would just want to drive this a little bit. When you came out and you saw some people who are abusing you, saying these crazy things, did you worry about your family?
So just to give this thought some sort of base, the Nigerian housemate was playing a game because he knew I was quite strong, so he wanted to eliminate me very fast and remain with the other guys. He's not a bad guy, Tayo.
Yes.
So anytime he went to the diary room, which is a private conversation, and that's anytime you're in the diary room, Big Brother now goes on you, like that's your time with Africa. He swayed Africa his way that Melvine Alusa is doing this, but he sort of would slander my name, sort of.
Right.
And you see, for someone who doesn't watch the show like the whole day, this becomes like a summary of who Melvin is. And Africa now began to take, beginning with Nigeria, because Nigeria can really bully guys, and so that became what Melvin is until now. Of course, I was evicted from the house.
Right.
Coming out, going on social media, I'm seeing Nigerians are insulting me day and night. In fact, I'm out of the house, I've been evicted, but down there you see those two texts.
The lower third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad Alusa is out and all these things. And my wife was just going, God. It actually, at some point, it began to get to me. I just started feeling, first of all, like a loser. I felt I wasted so much time going to this show, and now this is the result. Remember also at that time, you may think that you've left Big Brother house, so there will be plenty of opportunities. But now also people have this notion that, you've been on an international show that has 50 million people watching across Africa at any given point.
So you don't need an
you somehow people just think that there's so much money coming your way, there's so many opportunities coming your way, and at that point there's really none. So there's no opportunity coming from this huge investment emotionally, psychologically, and you see I've dragged my entire family into it. I'm now getting insulted, and now I'm just in the house sitting, there's no money coming through. That gets to you.
Go back to your family a little bit.
Yeah.
You used the word you dragged your family into it. How did they handle that? Because you, as Melvine Alusa, can handle that.
Yeah.
But I want to bring in the family. I want to open the people's eyes to there's a whole ecosystem.
Yes.
You just don't go out there abusing people, not realizing their children there. There's a wife, there's a father, there's a mother. How did you handle that bit with your family, away from the camera? It wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy. I think actually the one person who my wife helped me to go through it.
Right.
Yeah, because I think at that point she was the stronger one. Remember also for me to go into that house, she really supported me in terms of just encouraging me, and we had agreed that I actually try this opportunity. Yeah, she didn't quite like it at first, but when she saw the desire in my eyes, you just want to play in that game. She told the line. However, as much as she was really disappointed on the night I got evicted, when I came back home and she saw what I was going through, because I was going down some really dark alley, and you have to really also put up a brave face when you're in public. Suddenly, and then I had this hairstyle and this huge beard, and I was very conspicuous. So anybody would pick me out in the streets. And
you're loud.
And I'm loud.
Yes.
So my wife was my support system at that time.
Right.
Yeah, because people move on, and when I say family in this case, I mean my immediate nuclear family, of course my few siblings who understand what arts, media, entertainment is about. They really also supported me. And it can take time. I'm not talking about something that goes on for a week or two and you die. It goes on for it took me almost 2 years to shake it off.
2 years.
Yeah, to shake it off.
What drove you into depression in the house?
I think we took so long to get into the house. That's 34 days. 34 days. Normally it's 7.
Was there pressure to pretend? I mean, we watch it. People.
Yeah, there's definitely pressure. There's obviously in the house. There's a game. You have to play a script that you have written. And that script, you're playing out the script as you write it, because you've just met these guys. These are new housemates to you, so you have to come up with a plan now, depending on these people's personalities. Who do I eliminate? Where? How? Who do I pick a relationship with? Who do I befriend? Who is who? How? How do I play? It's not like I knew these guys before and I studied them before I came into the game. So you see, you're always on toes. You can't really know, and also basing on that, you don't know who is your friend also and who is not. You don't know Africa's reactions. You don't know if the game is really working for the audience or not, because you're depending on the audience to vote and to keep you in the house. So there's all these things happening at the same time. There's my family back at home. I'm wondering how are they doing? The money I left, is it enough, or have they run out of supplies? Kind of thing. There was a lot of bombardment.
Would you do it again?
No.
Not at all.
At my stage and age, no.
It needs mental strength as well.
It needs mental strength. Although they have a good support system. When you leave the house, there's a counselor who gives you there's a counseling session for about half an hour on just now that you haven't won, how to really handle yourself out there. And you think, come on, this is not gonna work on me, until now you get home and realize, oh, it's actually true.
We went through a very dark place at that time.
Yeah.
Everybody's thinking you're making a lot of money because this platform opened many, many doors.
Yes.
Apart from your family, did you get professional help?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't.
And for those 2 years that you say it took you time to shake it off,
Yeah.
how were you surviving?
How was I surviving? Sometimes you go through some patches in life, and when you look back, now that you're asking the question, that time I actually don't know how I survived. I think I cleared my savings. I had a few savings that ran out, and then I went through a really serious financial crunch. I remember there's a year I was evicted 3 times.
But you're this figure. In fact,
Imagine.
allow me to let's get there a little bit, because there are many who I know that feeling. You're Melvine Alusa.
Yes.
You walk into a place and this alpha male personality comes forth, but then you're evicted.
You're being evicted.
How do you look at your wife and children? How do you handle that? And I want people to understand that the pressure of being a public figure is real.
Yeah.
But you're evicted, only your family is going through the pain. When you walk out there, oh, Mr. Melvine Alusa, when I grow up, I want to be like you. How did you go through that phase? Because I know when I went through such a phase, it was very difficult.
It's really difficult, and it's a place where you just hope that you've been boxed in such a corner, and the only people that you've remained with in that corner is your wife and kids. You're just hoping. Okay, the kids, of course, they really don't know what's going on, but you just hope and pray that this one person who now you're really going through this thing with will have the strength to go through it.
Hold that thought. Never ever lose hope. I'm still talking to Mr. Melvine Alusa. See you after the break. I'm glad you're having a great time, just as I am with this great man, very likable character, always shooting from the hip, saying it as it is. Best actor, I'm going to say that again. Because, Melvin, this is a big achievement.
It is.
It's a big achievement. Don't be humble here. Say it's a big achievement.
It's a huge achievement.
Yeah, Best Actor, Zanzibar International Film Festival. Mission to Rescue, great movie, directed by one Mr. Gilbert Lucalia. And the production house is?
Foxton Media.
Foxton Media. Well, you've taken it to another level. You understand?
Yeah.
And before we went on a break, we're talking about being this huge personality, known in every corner. But then you also went through some tough time, knowing how it feels to be evicted. And I want you to talk to somebody, because there are people who are going through the same, and they're public figures. And many have sat where you're sitting, and they have said, you know what, people expect this, inboxes this, but we're also going through hell and high water. What did that teach you about being a public figure? I know for me, don't get excited by the social media plaudits, because it's when push comes to shove, it's only family that matters. What are some of the lessons you learned in that season?
But family, first of all, that, it's public figure, fine. For me, what I say is that the only difference between me and maybe an accountant is because what I do, God has placed it so that, what I do is out there.
Right.
An accountant does his thing, in the back office. So
Yes.
that's just that's just it. So I'm just as human, and I go through the same experiences just as the other person who is not really, like known per se.
Right.
So first of all, it taught me that, hey, let your be level-headed. Being a public figure or not, or being a celebrity or not, doesn't make you immune to the storms and the trials of life. I'm just like any other person when it comes to that. But also it reminded me of the most important people. I mean, you stood by me also through some really tough times. I have also a few friends here and there, and then family also. Family really matters. So it reminded me to value the little inner circle, and there are not many. They can just be very few people. To value them and to really, just to value them, and
How do you know? I know, but I'm asking this because I'm sure there's somebody watching and asking. How do you know that this is somebody I can trust? In this day and age of social media,
Yes.
you'll have many people you can take photos with and post on social media. But how then do you know I can, because you said the word inner circle. How do you graduate somebody from the outer court into the inner circle? What are the things you look at? Because I hear many people saying, I can't believe she did this to me. I can't believe he betrayed me like this. So how do you know this one has qualified to get into the inner circle?
When you're high on the mountain and things are looking good and you're getting all the applause and the money is there, many friends, of course, will be around you. That's the wrong time to judge. I think I thank God for the gift of storms, of trials and tribulations. And I mean the ones that really stay for long. Not just and especially financial. Because financial health also, when you get into a proper storm that will last for a while, people will begin to sieve themselves out of your life naturally. And at some point, there are those that now will remain on a constant.
Right.
Those are the ones.
And you keep them
People
close.
who know you, they know your mistakes, they know your gifts, your talents, they know where you can, they sort of perceive and understand your potential, but they're also seeing how life has really beat you down to where you are. And some of these things we go through also are our mistakes. We step sometimes in the wrong stones, and we just and they stay regardless. They encourage you, they admonish, they are there regardless of all these things. They're the ones, and they're not many.
Absolutely. Now, we've seen many public figures, more so the creative industry, falling on hard times. Because this kind of industry, today, this year it's good, next year maybe things are not so good.
Yeah.
And then they've had to go to the public domain and ask for people to help them.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for the actors? Because sometimes we don't see beyond. We get sucked into the excitement right now, the cameras clicking when we walk in, the movies we're doing, the TV series we're doing. What advice would you have for these actors? Because maybe 3 years down the line, we may not have as many movies. What would you tell such a person so that to avoid the pitfalls of having to go now to the public domain and asking people to help? Because now there's donor fatigue. You can see now Kenyans are getting tired of that.
Oh yeah, donor fatigue. Because I feel any good performer, any good artist who remains consistent will have a good season at some point. Mm-hmm. Where there's commercials coming in, there's endorsements here and there, and jobs are coming through as they should. But our industry being what it is, being still under, we are still building the industry, we're still really getting there. these times you're talking about will come when now you're in a different season where, the gigs are not coming through as they're now far in between. I would say invest in a different, because acting is not the only gift I have.
Right.
It's not my only passion.
You're also a voiceover artist, isn't it?
I'm a voiceover artist, but apart from arts, media and entertainment, I'm also, plus najua pia uluya, mimi ni mtu napenda chakula. Like now I'm getting into the restaurant business.
Fantastic.
I would say also try, when the times are good for you and you have some disposable income, to try out your hand in business, or a business that you also still have passion in, so that when this side is not too good, you have a constant business that brings you 3K per day, constant cash flow.
Yes.
That will keep you sane, and also it's mentally engaging and fulfilling because it's still within your passion, and it's bringing you something when the times on this other side are not as lucrative as they were at the time. It's mostly and sometimes we just have, I don't know why we have to really go through the mistake for us to now, because even me, I've had times when there was really a time when there was so much coming in and I was young and reckless and I didn't have much responsibility, and when I was going through this fire, I remember those times. I said, I wish at that time I knew, because when you're at that time you feel this thing it'll always be like this. It'll always, I've now entered a season where this one will last for a very long time. But now when it cuts is when you remember, I wish I had invested.
Right.
And therein lies the opportunity for us to mentor and support each other. Because for young actors coming up now, there's young actors who are really good, who are mentoring, who are they're in their 20s. And these things I'm telling them now, I've been where you are, you're getting all the commercials, you're still young, there's no responsibility on your shoulders really. Try to also do something, put some money aside for a business that will carry you through the storms.
Seasons.
Yeah.
What is your greatest regret, Mr. Alusa, in life generally? Our regrets are lessons for other people not to make some mistakes. I'm a believer of that.
Yeah.
I have regrets, and when I articulate them, somebody says, I was about to go that direction, let me change course. For you, what is your biggest regret? Hata kama kuna nsawa tu. Wewe ni best actor.
I think honestly, I would say my biggest regret is but it's not an end in itself, and maybe it's not something that I may have had so much control or power over. I wish I had a better relationship with my father.
Okay.
I crave for, or rather used to. Now, of course, now I have other responsibilities. Now I'm a father myself. But I regret that, and not his mistake, and maybe not mine, but the situations, the life just happened to both of us.
Would you like to talk to him on camera? I know he's a great man, and parents are very important people in our lives.
Yes.
Just say something to him.
Where do I look?
Look at that. We're best actor. You know your camera, of course.
Sawa, na nitamwambia issue ni sangapi? 8 o'clock.
You shall call him. You shall tell him. Just look at him and look at the camera and tell him.
I want to look at my father in the eye right now, Mr. John Baraza Alusa, and I want to tell you that I love you and I honor you as my father. I feel that life, I may have not understood you, because of different eras. You are a man that was doing what you could at the time with the best in the best way that you could. But also, you may also not have had the time to also understand me as a child, and also now that I've become a man. And enmity between me and you is not anything that I want to go for. I long for the day that you and I will reconcile and just have a father-son relationship, so that even moving forward for me, I can transfer the same to your grandkids. And at no point have I ever in my heart hated you or even had any manner of disrespect for you. I hope that day one day will come.
Wow, Mr. Baraza, a great, great man, raised great kids. And Mr. Baraza, we do honor you, and we shall go and eat nyama choma. Sisi ni Waluya.
Hey.
What next for Mr. Melvine Alusa? As a father, as an actor, businessman, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Global. Now where I am, I'm going global. I want to play. I'm focusing on practicing my craft on the highest level possible, which is Hollywood, high-end Netflix productions, because that's an industry where it is completely fully developed. So the stories they write are impeccably done. Production quality is at the highest level possible. Actors being paid top dollar, and I feel that I have come of age as an actor. I've come of age as an actor and also as a person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've made my mistakes. I've made my mistakes, and not to say that now I'm perfect, but I feel if I am now given, or rather, when the opportunity comes to play on a global level, with all the support that comes with that kind of entity, I think I'm well placed to now.
You have what it takes.
I have what it takes. I have what it takes.
You have what it takes.
I have what it takes.
What do you want to pass on to your children? What do you want them to remember you for?
I want my kids, number one, to know they are loved unconditionally, regardless of the mistakes they will making now or tomorrow. They will never, ever, at any point, be loved less by me. And number two, I want to leave to them a legacy of spirituality. I'm a guy that I'm a believer in God. I want to leave that to them. I want them to know that there's a God that I bow down to, and that's the one I'm also passing on to them. And just to also take after my work ethics, because I believe I'm a person who, when I have something in my hands that I'm doing, I delve into it 150%. I give it my all. And I keep telling them, there's a saying in my house, when you do something, do it well. I keep telling them, if it's sweeping or washing a cup, when you're doing something, do it very well. When I went to this award at home, I told them, now you see, this is the award I've won for Best Actor. Because when I'm holding a script and when I'm doing this thing, I do it really well. That's why I've been awarded this. Right. So those work ethics and the belief that whatever they find to do, they do it diligently. That's also a work ethic I want to live with my kids.
Okay. Now I want you to look at the camera.
Yeah.
With the facial expression of an actor. Give me the outro. Just tell the viewers, this has been the Old Men Show with the best host in Eastern.
So you're planting a seed.
Yes.
Next time to harvest.
Anyway, finish for us the show, because after this I want to get to know you better. We just tumalizie. Angalia kamera.
So basically niseme
Wait, vile unataka cheza kama wewe.
Okay.
Yes. Your name is whatever you've been on this show. Give us the facial expression.
Oh, right. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching the Old Men Show. And I've been your guest, Mr. Melvine Alusa, Best Actor at the Zanzibar International Film Festival. That's the best festival in Africa. And I've been hosted by none other than my very good friend for a long time, for years, an amazingly gifted man, coach, pastor, motivational speaker, Mluya kutoka Busia, anakula ugali kukula, ni baba, ni rafiki na ni mdeadly. His name is Mr. Robert Israel Burale.
Asante. Ladies and gentlemen, you're the best actor. We need to know Melvine a little bit deeper. See you in a while. Mr. Melvine Alusa, what is the most interesting thing that you own?
My dog.
What is your favorite sport to watch?
Rugby.
What is your favorite kind of music?
World music.
Take out or homemade meals?
Homemade meals.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
France.
Have you ever played a character on screen that reminded you of yourself? And if yes, which character?
Yes, I've played non-starter lover boy.
What is your dream car?
Mercedes G-Wagon.
If you could change anything in your past, what would it be?
My high school.
Use one word to describe success.
Purpose.
What words of advice do you have for an aspiring actor trying to break into the industry?
Patience, patience, patience.
Ugali or chapati?
Ugali.
Thank you, Mr. Alusa.